Hello and welcome to another market analysis by Inspo Crypto. That's my today's introduction. Wow, so dynamic everything, just absolutely everything is dynamic. I just tweeted today two articles, one about Japan's potential initiation of a global market crash. Not sure if that's going to end in market crash, but I don't have any doubt that Japan and China both announced that. It's not a threat. Some people think that's a threat. That's not a threat. They just announced that if the Fed is going to keep rising rates aggressive, like they are just doing since months, they will react and intervene. Japan did already, and I think that's going to happen again. But of course, also Japan and its central bank has a responsibility. So in case they see that's going to have a negative impact to their own economy, and it will have, then obviously they will react. And if big banks think they need to short the yen because they are not expecting any serious reaction by a central bank, well, I mean, we know gamblers. The crypto market is full of them. Hedge funds and a lot of different other institutionals that just want to make the quick money. And yes, it is possible. It is a realistic scenario. Now I have tweeted another article where we are talking a little bit about, what could happen next with the Fed. Because they know that Japan and China did their statement. I mean, Japan is one thing, China is the other, where they have huge USD reserves, and they are saying, hey, if you continue, we will dump those reserves to the FX market. Another big thing, because also that will have a bigger impact to the banking sector. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of time, because it seems that the Fed doesn't care. They don't care. They will push up more and more. A Fed member just mentioned 125 BPS in the next 2 sessions. I don't know if they mean 125 each or 75 and 50, because that would be then accumulated 125. In my opinion, then we should talk about 150. 2 times 75. I told you they were extremely hawkish when the inflation rate was declining a little bit, and they had a great opportunity to make a positive statement to the markets. Just instead to bring 75 BPS on the table to mention, hey, you know what? I know you all are expecting 75 BPS because we did some comments, but no, we will do 50 BPS or even 25 BPS. I mean, they did 25 BPS while the inflation was rising in an upper pace. But they didn't. And that was a clear statement. I don't know why some people out there are still in disbelief. It's not the Fed's failure or fault. They are communicating in a very transparent and clear way, but many out there don't want to see that. What they did just few months ago, rising the interest rates by 75 bps was a statement. Now, even the labor market data is looking not that bad. You know, or many of you who are following me for a while know what I think about the labor market statistics. In my opinion, that's just a tool for politics. That works in Germany and in the US at the same time. So it's the same thing. But that's fine. It's, but that confirms their narrative. Like Joe Biden said, hey, what do you want? We are creating jobs. So the economy is strong. And the Fed is saying, well, when the economy is strong, we can be even more hawkish. What does that mean? We are going to 50 BPS while we did 75 BPS in a worse scenario, in a worse situation. And now we will go down to 50 BPS like some people were expecting. I mean, just 1 week ago, they were expecting a pivot. I'm tired to repeat, it's not going to happen. I told many times what would be the unique scenario where the Fed would go over to pivot. Everything else is just to put you a trap in the middle of the way to tell you, go, buy stocks, go long. That's what we need. That's what we want. And you are doing it. Because you are still in disbelief, thinking about people, thinking about... That's not a Walt Disney story. That's not going to have a happy end. Forget that. It's going to be extremely tough. I mean, you see the whole trend. Who doesn't see that is because he doesn't want to see that. Geopolitical level looks extremely dangerous. The whole financial market looks extremely dangerous. And at the same time, we have the federal banks like ECB and like the Fed. Just, increasing the fire with gas and more wood. It's not going to change. Because they have a different agenda than Microsoft or Intel, Qualcomm. As we can see, AMD, losing 2.4 to 4.8% in stocks. Nvidia. What? Well, we know they are in big competition to the Chinese innovation technology industry. Does that help? Do you think that's a national interest of the US to do that? No, but they don't care. And you need to understand that. If you don't, you will fail. If you don't, you will place your money, you will buy things, and you will lose. You need to understand. Even I still think, excluding any kind of special events like a Black Swan event, but that we will have an exit rally. It's going to be an exit rally. It's not going to be a bull run. Some of you will start to be extremely happy and moon, 100k, 150, forget that. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Maybe in some years. Maybe. I don't know. But at least I can tell you 2023, 2024, it's going to be a big, big challenge for all of us. So it's time to wake up. It's really time to wake up and to stop to discuss and stop to bring new narratives to spread just hope. If you need something positive, I don't know, go to the forest, make a walk, enjoy the nature, but you will not find any hope in markets and geopolitics and so on right now. Because that's the status quo. Okay, initial comment done. Let us go forward. So let us talk about the wealth ratio. What we see is that the wealth ratio just bounced here at a level of between 48 and 49%. That's just still too high in my opinion, just really too high. But the wealth ratio 1 day, 2 days in a row above of 50. That's big. That's really big, indicating they are keep sending Bitcoins to centralized exchanges. When I'm saying Bitcoins, doesn't mean they are expecting or they're sending just 20, 30. No, we are talking about, of course, more. Anyway, we need to see if that matches to, unfortunately, and you know I was telling November, December is going to be bullish. Now my bullish sentiment is shifting more to December and putting apart November, just because November 3rd, if I'm right, it's the next FOMC. So as we know today, it's not going to be bullish at all. So the first 2 weeks of November could be very volatile and bloody. I don't know. I mean, November is also going to be a very important month based or related to geopolitics. We will talk about that more at the end of October, I would say. It would make more sense. So I'm shifting more from November now to December. I mean, why I'm bullish for end of the year? First of all, because all these option trades we have seen in the past weeks, they were very bullish for end of the year. And of course, because historically we always had, so we have references, we always had an exit rally, a big exit rally. I mentioned several times that big banks, many of them, still have filled books. They are not going to pay the final bill. Absolutely not. Some of them, of course, gamblers, and we know that some big banks could be also gamblers. Those will speculate with risky trades, and some of them will fail. That's going to happen. The question is going someone to provide the money to pay them out? I don't know. We will see. But yeah, at the moment, I would expect from December to May, April, May next year. So December this year, and then until April, May next year to have an exit rally. Not a huge one. Bitcoin is not going to go to 100K. Maybe not even to 50. But enough to sell. What some of them are buying right now at 18, 19. In my opinion, afterwards we will see new lows. Yeah. For all. Equities. Only commodities should go up. So if you are rethinking your trade strategy in your portfolio, you should take a look more to commodities than to equities and crypto, to be honest. Even I think that after the first half of 2023 could be an excellent time to start to buy the dips, if you still have money, of course. So it's a little bit joking, but at the same time I'm very serious. Tough times will come, and the best time you will have to buy the dip is when nobody has the money to spend in it. So just to have that in mind. Sometimes it makes sense just don't to spend all the money and to invest the money in at least in an asset that will maintain its value, and to swap then in crypto, for example. I'm going to try that. So commodities, I think it's going to be extremely bullish from 2023, even more than now. So extremely bullish food, I mean, crude oil, gas, and so on and so forth, while equities, crypto, and everything will go with the tendency to the downside. We need to see if that's going to match. If we see that they are starting to lift up, that could be, like we had before, a preparation for a November nuke. So be extremely careful with that. We will track that. Weights ratio 30 hours moving average. What's happening here? Well, let us start with the 30 hours moving average. It lifted up, declined a little bit, or maintained, lifted up even more, declined, and declined even more. Now it seems it wants to go up once again. We're still maintaining a level above of 84%. That's really, but it's mainly also indicating that retailers are not playing any role here, absolutely any role anymore. So the whole market, I think retailers are much more, and that would also match to what we have seen yesterday. So the volume related even to futures are declining, while, and that's because of the open interest, while the leverage ratio is significant, rising up, making new all-time highs. So yeah, even the most conservative investor is now gambling, it seems. So you know, even me, I would consider myself as a very conservative investor, based on the crypto space, because other people would say, you are investing money in crypto, you are absolutely not conservative at all. But I think that yeah, well, we'll see. We need to be very, very careful here. I think weights ratio 30 hours moving average will lift up once again and hitting the 90. I hope not over the weekend. We will see how the weekend is going to be. I hope it's going to be last weekend, so very calm. I prefer to trade the days where the Wall Street is open. I trust SPY much more, to be honest, than crypto on weekends. So we will see. So SPY and DXY, because both are the main drivers of the Bitcoin price at the moment. And yeah, if we check here, we are right now above of 90%, so 93, indicating that the sell pressure maintains very active. Stablecoin supply, it's still not recovering at all, so no money is coming in, and that's it. That's really it. I mean, stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges lifted up, declined, lifted up a little bit. Looks like it wants to decline once again. I was noticing again a lot of USDT outflow from Binance. So yeah, doesn't look that great. Let us go forward. So what's happening here to the flow activities? As you see, let me disable the stablecoins. We received in the last 2 hours almost 1,800 Bitcoins. That's not big. It's only big if we see they are accumulating those on centralized exchanges and they are not directly distributing them. So we see that we received, after the big outflow here, I would say from here, we received inflows, and I mentioned, I'm still missing the big outflow. That happened finally today in the morning. So they saw the way down, it seems. They were just pushing, distributing above of 20K. And now it's rising once again. I mean, as mentioned, if I would be a whale, I would do exactly the same. If I see what the Fed is doing, what the White House is doing, how the whole global economy looks like, I sell now even at 20k or 18k. I will buy back in a few months for lower. That would be my trade strategy if I have, for example, a lot of Bitcoins, because it's going to happen anyway. In my opinion, it's going to happen anyway. It's very frustrating at the moment, in my opinion, but it's okay. That's another challenge. And challenges are not to let you capitulate. Challenges are just to fight them, to make it better. And we will do it. We will do it. I don't have any doubt. Even with crap you can make money, so we will make money with everything. Yeah, not big at all. Absolutely not. I mean, we received here 3,000 Bitcoins, and we know we have received in the last weeks even more. So it's not big. We will see what's going to happen this weekend, because it doesn't look big. It is not big, but big enough for a weekend nuke. So we will see what's going to happen this weekend. Nobody knows. We know it's a box of candies, like Forrest Gump would say now. Big stablecoin inflows not happening. I mean, we received here, but just because they were buying, and that explains and matches and correlates very well to the big outflow. So they send stablecoins to buy the way down, while the bears were selling the way down. And that's it. We go now further and check what is happening right now to the future market. So, future market, what's happening here? We can see what's happening. I mean, we know funding rate lifted up, declined, lifted up, declined, lifted up. It's declining, while something that maintains very high is the leverage ratio. It looks like it wants to make another all-time high. It's one all-time high after the other all-time high. That's incredible, isn't it? Wow. Nice. Sarcasm could be a bitch sometimes. Open interest. You can see here's open interest, and here is the leverage ratio. So it seems they are right now shorting, demanding more shorts, but high leverage shorts. So also here, low volume, bigger leverage. I mean, it makes sense. If you can drive the market with high volume, even more than exchanges, poor exchanges, really poor exchanges. We will see. I think a big shakeout is going to happen this weekend. I can imagine up first and afterwards a nuke, or first down, then afterwards up. Nobody knows. And, I really don't have any idea. So, stablecoin flow activity related to derivative exchanges. We had yesterday in the night, before midnight, Central European time, we had a bigger inflow of 200 millions, and afterwards another 130 million. So that's really not low at all. Absolutely not. While we can see on Bitcoin inflows to derivative exchanges much more huge outflows. Once again, 12,400 yesterday, and just a few hours later, that was this morning, another 15,000. You remember, just 2 days ago, another 16,000, 15,600. So someone is playing here with swings and now taking profit. So it seems swing phase is done, and now it's going to be serious. I don't know, up or down, not yet. Well, we'll see. That's our common work now, to figure out what's going to happen. So let us go forward, and we can see here that's still the daily resolution. What the blue line is the leverage ratio, indicating it's incredible. And we are right now even higher than the last few days. So indicating we are making a new all-time high. So even much more leverage than before, because it seems we were so successful. I don't know how exchanges can do that. I really don't know. I would expect that the first exchange is going to start to reduce leverage to 50 or something. I don't know. We will see. But that looks incredible, in my opinion. I mean, open interest, it's recovering. Okay, but it's maintaining that level at the moment. Only leverage ratio is pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. So yeah, it seems many people are extremely bullish on leverage ratio. Funding rate maintaining, very neutral. And even here, I mean, yesterday, extremely low liquidations. If we take a look now to Binance, of course, they are now demanding more shorts, but at the same time also reducing the open interest, it seems, and also the funding rate declining, also the leverage ratio. So they are liquidating high leverage longs at the moment. That would at least explain why the open interest is declining. I guess some shorters are taking profit right now, so it's also possible. Let us take a look to the blockchain whispers, and wow, Jesus, why? What happened? I didn't check the blockchain whispers today, so I'm a little bit shocked. I was expecting almost 50 to 50. Oh my God, that's extremely bearish. Why almost 2 billion of longs while 1 billion in shorts? Once again, 66 to 34? Are you joking? That's extremely bearish on both parts. Bitcoin once again more, but oh my God, nothing can go wrong here. Sorry, I just did a break because I'm still surprised. I'm a little bit shocked. I'm really a little bit shocked. I'm really thinking to take out all my money from crypto and go directly to casino. Really. I don't get that. I really don't get that. $2 billion against 1 billion. I'm just speechless. I don't have any words for that. I really don't have any words. I don't have any words for that. So let us see this structure and compare the structure of Binance and FTX just for all of them. If you are new, welcome to Inspo's family. I do that because I know that FTX and Binance many times, almost every time, is using the same bots. So they are buying at the same time, they are selling at the same time, and so on and so forth. While Bitfinex, for example, loves to use different exchanges like Deribit, like OKEX, Huobi. Okay, they also have some bots. They buy, sell, so reacts at the same time, indicating that one of them is the main driver of this cluster, while Binance and FTX, usually I would say FTX is using Binance because of its liquidity. So that's where it makes sense for me just to check if they are maybe doing exactly the same. If I see, for example, a huge cluster of longs, we see that the next big liquidation cluster would be at 19,200. we are at 19,600, as you know, and we'll check the gamma walls. Yesterday we had a huge gamma wall at 20k. Well, after today's labor market statistics, we break to the downside. If the gamma wall still's there, it means we have a huge resistance right now. So what we are doing right now is maintaining the price at 19.6, and at certain time it should go up, sharp, or down. In my opinion, we will go down. But we will see. It's too early to say something like up or down first. Liquidations declined. Well, we had 100 million just a few days ago. Yesterday even 80. Now it's indicating 70 million. Also here indicating we are reducing the potential liquidations. However, we have here a higher density, while we have here a bigger bar. So liquidation cluster 1.21 millions. I still don't know what the Kingfisher means with that. If it means we have that's German. We have there liquidations 1.1 million of liquidations or something. Here 70 million. I really don't know. As I don't see any US dollar symbol or something, I really don't know what this means. But we know that if the bars are big and high, usually the price, like a magnet, follows it. As you see, it seems we have much more to the long side than to the short side. Would match very well to the Blockchain Whispers data, because Blockchain Whispers is only using Binance raw data. It's just open interest multiplied long-short ratio provided by Binance itself. I can show you that here. Oh, now it looks a little bit. So they are just multiplicating those 3 billions here with the long-short ratio, and then you have those almost 2 billions here and 1 billion here. So if we take a look, of course, even I'm not sure how much liquidations we had yesterday, but at least we can see it looks very similar, very similar. So it goes up here, that's okay. We had our peak here, also here, that's fine. We had our peak in shorts here, also it's fine. And yeah, it looks almost the same, almost the same. The only thing is that on Binance we had here even close to our price a long liquidation cluster, while we doesn't have here any attractive long liquidation cluster, but a short liquidation cluster. So if FTX wants to drive the market, we would go up to 20,250 before we would go down. But I don't know. That's it. Let us go forward. So we see what FTX is doing once again. Just accumulate until 20,400, then start to sell at 20,080 until 19.4. Once again, does that make sense? Not really, right? Not really. But they were distributing nice, and afterwards they lifted up, now distributing at a lower price. Institutional working here. Aggregated doesn't look that bad, but look what Bitcoin collateral futures are doing. Even the stablecoin futures are declining while the spot aggregated one maintains. We'll see. So that's Binance. Binance maintaining. They are not really selling big at the moment. If we go further, we see that's Bitfinex. Bitfinex not buying at all. I mean, they are not selling, but They are not doing anything. They distributed a lot and right now just maintaining. Of course, Coinbase. Coinbase is, as you see, buying and buying and buying and buying. Opposite way from all the others. However, I don't know how that works, but it works, it seems. Let us check what's happening here. So, retailers lifting up. These guys lifting up. These guys maintaining. It's lifting up, but they maintain the level. So, wallets with less than 100 bitcoins, we can say they are much more bullish than bearish. These guys declined once again because that's what they do. They buy the dip, they sell afterwards, and so on and so forth. 100 to 1000 bitcoins wallets. Market maker, we need to see. It doesn't look that bad. We need to see if they start to dump the balances once again. Then we need to be extremely careful. But I guess it would match also with all these bitcoins we have detected, this 15,000 bitcoins outflow from derivative exchanges. I've mentioned several times that these guys love to use their bitcoins to generate more bitcoins, using them as collateral for their future trades. And in the past, they used them, in my opinion, also to dump afterwards. So we need to see. Weekend is starting. Well, and these guys maintaining. So nothing big here. We also see the market maker, once again, CryptoQuant. Why I don't see the data? I don't get that now. We see the market maker entity is still very calm. We will see if that's going to maintain, because he have filled its reserves, its balances. I really hope that it's not going to push down the price with all this, because that could be extremely crazy. Yeah, well, I mean, with this, it's much more a coincidence. They withdraw those 3,000 bitcoins, as I have mentioned just in the flow activity chart. That's why the Bitcoin reserves declined. It's lifting up once again. So we don't know how many bitcoins are still accumulated on centralized exchanges. That's a big problem. What I see is that someone is taking profit from its derivative trades, and that's why even on derivative exchanges the Bitcoin reserves are declining, and I'm saying really big declining. I mean, we are talking about more than 100,000 bitcoins since September 29th. That's really huge. And partly, of course, it's the market maker. Stablecoins coming in, while on spot exchanges, not really. It's declining. So nothing big here. Well, spot exchanges bleeding, derivative exchanges bleeding. Miners not doing anything. Looks very interesting at the moment. And OTC waking up a little bit, maybe. Not really. Not yet. It's too early. It's really too early. Yeah, I don't see that. But it seems they bought the dip. Yeah, and that's it. So we go forward. So we start with Coinbase. Coinbase, as mentioned, and I mean, nothing changed since yesterday, really. They reduced even more liquidity to the downside. Something, if they want to protect the downside, I mean, I can understand to remove liquidity at 15, 16, 17 when we are at 23K, something they didn't. As you meant, as you remind how many times I said it doesn't make sense what they are doing. I mean, we are at 23K. Why to lock liquidity to the downside at 15K, for example? Now we are even below 20k, they are removing liquidity. Is that an invitation? I don't know, but it looks really interesting. At the moment, they are holding the price, even on Coinbase, relatively with high volume. So they don't want to let go down the price yet. Not now. Or at least buying. They reinforced a wall at 25k, and that's it on Coinbase. So nothing big. Deribit. Show me something. Deribit. Look, CBD declining. They are selling. Nothing. Nothing happened since yesterday. We still have these limitations to the downside. 19.3, 19, 18.6, but absolutely nothing. So if we check here, wow, what happened to Bitstamp? Limiting the way up until 21. They also here, also interesting, removed the wall, shifted, it seems, just few hundreds to the upside, but not big. They still maintain the liquidity here. They removed here wall at 12k, but that's absolutely fine. So on Deribit, they are still expecting, or at least they are still ready. Binance, Spot, what's happening here? Well, also nothing big. Still a lot of sell orders here to the upside. Reinforced even 21.7. And since yesterday, nothing changed here. Reinforced here a wall at 14, but removed liquidity at 17.5 and reinforced a little bit at 17. Also nothing big happening here. Reinforcing also at 18.5. Yeah, and that's it. So also nothing big. Absolutely nothing big. Bitfinex Spot. Okay, limiting the way up at 21. Wow, look that. That was big? No, it wasn't. A volume delta of 160 bitcoins. While, also interesting, the candle was extremely red, so indicating they were absorbing as much as they could. Also interesting. So I don't see anything here. Absolutely anything. No. FTX perp. Wow. I mean, look that. Okay, that's crazy. I didn't see that in the past. What is FTX doing? Remove the wall. They had a big wall here, so too long at 19k. They removed that. Or at least, yeah, from almost 536 bitcoins to 197, reduced a lot. We have here right now very close to the price, so everything here is usual, but everything here it isn't. I don't know what they are doing, but in my opinion, that's a clear message. Look here. We need to reduce. Look what they are doing. Bringing liquidity until 17. 16.4. Remove there. But that's also very interesting what they are doing. Very interesting, FTX, what you are doing. Kraken Spot also limiting the way up at 21k and bringing some liquidity here at 18.4 and so on and so forth, but also here nothing big at all, absolutely not. BitMEX, no, nothing. Lifted up, declining, but nothing. Binance Futures. Also here, look, it looks very similar to what FTX is doing. And that's the thing, you know, and that's why I like just to see if the structure of the liquidation maps looks very similar, because I mean they reduced a lot to the upside because we had a lot, but after they dump it. So still waiting here with short orders to the downside. They removed a lot of liquidity, now waiting at 8. 8 or for example between 15 and 30, but nothing big at all. Bitfinex derivatives, nothing. Shorting, just shorting. Sincere shorting. So since we arrived at 20,400 and they shorted here big. Is that strange? So they both spot at the same time while they were shorting at the same time? Hedging? Possible. Kraken futures? Nothing. And FTX spot. FTX spot doing exactly the same, and it seems one of the main driver of the current dump. Oh yes, look that. Oh my god, almost 934 bitcoins volume delta. Are you joking? Never have seen such a big 930. No. Wow, that's big. That's really big. And the candle is nichts, is nothing. I don't know why. I just want to speak in German today. We had here a volume delta of 934 bitcoins. So they purchased here. We are talking about spot. We purchased here 1,277 bitcoins and sold 2,212 bitcoins. Thanks Binance, the price didn't dump even more. But FTX, not bullish at all. Absolutely not. That's it. Let us go directly to my personal conclusion.